Warning, the following video contains spoilers for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. If you have not seen the movie, click off the video. If you have, keep watching. With all of that out of the way, let's start the video.
Dude, let's kill the horse.
What?
I'm so tired, man.
With Sonic the Hedgehog 4 being confirmed to be on the way, there are 10 villains who could replace Dr. Robotnik in the next film. Eggman was the main villain of the first two Sonic the Hedgehog movies, with him being the secondary antagonist alongside his grandpa Joe Robotnik, as well as Shadow the Hedgehog in Sonic the Hedgehog 3. It seems that the movie series is moving away from using Ivo Robotnik as the main villain, meaning that Jim Carrey's character can be replaced with these 10 characters in Sonic the Hedgehog 4. Although there have already been 3 movies filled with elements from the video games, the movie series has still barely scratched the surface of what is in the video game franchise. There are countless villains, enemies, and stories from throughout the Sonic franchise that could be adapted into a movie, with the amount of Sonic lore that exists being surprisingly deep. Because of this, there are all kinds of villains that Sonic the Hedgehog 4 could choose from, with any one of these 10 making a fantastic antagonist in the next movie. One of the most highly requested villains who could appear in the 4th movie is Sonic Adventures as Chaos. In the video games, Chaos is an immortal KO who acts as one of the guardians of the Master Emerald, with the deity being worshipped by the Knuckles clan. However, Dr. Eggman attempted to utilize Chaos for his own purpose, with things going wrong and Chaos nearly destroying the world. Chaos would be a logical extension for the story that has been set up in the movie so far. The Master Emerald and the Chaos Emeralds have played a major role in the 2nd and 3rd movie, with the most recent film even bringing up how dangerous Knuckles believes they are. The introduction of Chaos could finally show this off, and the Chaos Easter egg in the 3rd film may be teasing Chaos's movie debut. Last year, I made a video about Sonic 06, the infamous Sonic the Hedgehog game that was, Game Grumps played it, that stuff like that. And although this game was notorious for being bad, it did introduce a lot of exciting elements into the franchise, such as the most popular villain of the franchise, Mephiles the Dark, aka the guy who managed to do what Eggman couldn't do in 30 years. Yep, that's right, he killed Sonic in 3 minutes, while Eggman couldn't even do it in 3 years. I meant to say 30, but that's besides the point. In the game, Mephiles is one half of the sun god Solaris, with the deity becoming split from another powerful entity known as Iblis. After Eggman and Rouge the Bat accidentally unleash Mephiles, he begins his time-traveling plan to conquer the world, causing Sonic to have to stop him. Mephiles is an epic villain and is one of the few ways to make the scale of the movie series even bigger than the 3rd movie. Almost all the pieces are in place to bring Mephiles' story to the next movie, with the introduction of Rouge being the last big element that will be required for Sonic the Hedgehog 4. Please give us Rouge. I know y'all couldn't do it. I know y'all are avoiding it, but please. Speaking of Sonic 06, there was another character that was in this game that could also be an antagonist in the movies, Silver the Hedgehog. You see, in the game, Mephiles convinces Silver to try time travel and back in time to fight Sonic, with Silver believing that Sonic is the root of the post-apocalyptic future. He does eventually realize that this isn't the case, but only after Sonic and Silver become enemies at the beginning of the game. It would make sense to also introduce Silver if they introduce Mephiles as well, but that's besides the point. Silver would, follow a similar, path that Knuckles and Shadow did in both Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and the 3rd movie, with them both starting out as villains before being on Team Sonic's side. And also, Silver will be able to introduce time travel. Think of what that could do. There are consequences to time travel, there always has been, unless it's Bill and Ted rules. But, anyways, time travel has been used plenty of times throughout the video game series, so it would be crazy to see how they could do it in the movies. Imagine they time travel back and they see, I can't really think of a scenario, but I don't really. If the 4th movie wanted to scale things down a bit after the world-destroying threats from the most recent 2 films, then a fun villain could be introduced. This fun villain being Fang the Hunter. Fang is a bounty hunter who is often hired by Eggman to hunt down the Chaos Emeralds, although he doesn't have many ambitions that go beyond the accumulation of wealth. The introduction of Fang the Hunter, who is also known as Fang the Sniper, would continue the use of the Chaos Emeralds in the Sonic the Hedgehog movies, something that makes sense after the story of Sonic the Hedgehog 3. However, it would also move away from the focus of Jim Carrey's Robotnik characters with the introduction of an anthropomorphic main antagonist, possibly being a breath of fresh air. Another fun group of anthropomorphic villains who could be introduced in the fourth movie would be the Babylon Rouges. The Babylon Rouges are a team of villainous racers from the Sonic Riders universe, with it being made of Jet the Hawk, Wave the Swallow, and Storm the Albatross. Yeah, they're all birds, in case you couldn't tell. The third movie was the first movie that was truly about Team Sonic, with the teamwork and conflicts between Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles being a constant presence throughout the story. The fourth movie could expand on this idea by introducing the Babylon Rouges, with them acting as a thematic counterpart to Team Sonic. Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles each have a counterpart in Jet, Wave, and Storm, making for an incredibly interesting dynamic in the fourth movie. I made a video about the Shadow the Hedgehog game, and in that video, I didn't mention this, but there's like some bad guy named Black Doom. You know, he's like that big scary dude or whatever. That's besides the point. Shadow the Hedgehog's future in the Sonic the Hedgehog movies is uncertain, unless you saw the post-credit scene, as it isn't known if Keanu Reeves will return as being a supporting character in the fourth film, or possibly in his own spin-off film. However, making Shadow a secondary protagonist alongside Sonic in the fourth movie would be a smart way to give the character the spotlight he deserves, and the best way to do this is by making Black Doom the main villain. In case you don't know what Black Doom exactly is, he's an alien leader of the Black Arms Army, as well as being one of the creators of Shadow the Hedgehog, with him having given Gerald his blood in order to complete the project. When Black Doom led the Black Arms later to conquer Earth, however, Shadow rebelled, with him realizing that he has to fight off the alien army in order to save the planet. Now, before we move on, they give Shadow new lore. He comes from a meteor, which makes me believe he might have come from Black Doom, so they might as well do this, which would connect Shadow more because they played his song from his video game in the movie. So they could either go with the Sonic 06 route with Mephiles and Silver, or they could go with the route of Black Doom. Sonic Lost World's Deadly Six team is one of the more memorable groups of villains to be introduced in the modern Sonic the Hedgehog games, with them returning in later games like Sonic Forces. Master Zeke, Zavok, Zaz, Xena, Zam, and Zor are an incredibly powerful group of foes who were released by Eggman, with the scientists hoping to control a team. However, they of course went rogue, with them threatening to destroy the world unless Sonic intervenes. The Deadly Six are well liked by fans of the franchise, so introducing them in the fourth movie will be a big deal. While they may be a little too weird for where the movies are right now, moving them away from the humans and technology-based villains would be a good change of pace for the film series. Which, I mean, I agree with, because, like, let's not put Tom and Maddie in danger anymore, guys, okay? We care about them. If the fourth movie wants to stick with the technology-based villains, then Sonic Frontiers' Titans would be a great addition. The Titans are a race of ancient giant robots, with them coming in all kinds of shapes and sizes. Their massive scale makes them difficult to take down, although Sonic and his friends manage to pull it off throughout the story of Sonic Frontiers. A race of futuristic robots would be perfect based on the post-credit scenes for the third movie, which is possibly tying into the Metal Sonic story, which makes me wonder what they're going for with Metal Sonic, because I don't know, he could be a member of the Titans in the next movie, with the fourth movie tying Metal Sonic, Amy Rose, and the Titans' story together to weave one giant epic. While the Titans are cool, an even better villain from the recent Sonic the Hedgehog game would be Infinite. Infinite is the main antagonist of Sonic Forces, with him being the incredibly powerful leader of the Jackal Squad. Using the Phantom Ruby, Jackal helped Eggman overthrow the world, expanding the Eggman army and creating the authoritarian universe that is seen in Sonic Forces. Infinite is a step up from the Shadow the Hedgehog in the terms of power level, although he isn't quite as powerful as Mephiles or Chaos. This makes Infinite a perfect addition to the fourth movie, with its addition being an understandable raising of the stakes while still not making things too big. If the fourth movie wants to move away from the main Robotnik, Ivo Robotnik, a perfect replacement would be Eggman Nega. Eggman Nega is a descendant of Ivo Robotnik from around 2 centuries in the future, with him being a much more competent version of Ivo. Although Nega looks and acts similar to the main Eggman, he is a much bigger threat, with his advanced technology and superior methods making him far more dangerous. It's been theorized that the Metal Sonic army from the post-credit scenes of the third movie was sent from the future, although the movies haven't yet revealed who sent them. However, an army of robots that are designed to be like Sonic sounds exactly like Robotnik's modus operandi, meaning that the version of Robotnik from the future would actually be perfect addition to the movies after the third movie. People are saying the movies are heading for like a Sonic CD plotline, but since I don't know anything about it, I don't you know, I don't know anything about that thingy, so I'm just gonna agree because why not? And if I had to pick a villain that could be in this movie, I think I'm leaning towards either Silver, Mephiles, and maybe the Rouges, the bad Rouges or whatever they're called. So but I want to know what you guys think. Who should be the villain in the fourth movie? Since we have seen that Amy Rose and Metal Sonic are going to be in this movie, they could really do anything with this. I mean, wouldn't it be insane if they revealed that Sonic had a brother and a sister named Sonia and Manic, and they were all separated? You can tell I miss Sonic Underground, can't you? But I'm excited for the fourth movie, even if it is coming out in 2027. That's absolutely wild. But the next video, Sonic related, is going to be talking about who they could cast to voice Metal Sonic. I mean, they could do anything. They could even just do Ben Schwartz, considering that Metal Sonic is just Metal Sonic thinks he's Sonic. But still, they could just cast different voice. We wouldn't even know. It would be fine regardless, right? He's a robot. He could copy any voice. He could do any voice. But I hope you enjoyed this video. And remember, Slobodnik is canon and it will always be canon.